In this video, I want to take a look at how Shannon Hoon from the band Blind Melon approached playing the acoustic guitar. He was most well known for his singing. I'd never seen a lot talked about with the way he played guitar. It's not super complicated. He played a lot of more basic chords, but the way that he implemented them and would move chords around was really interesting to me. When I started playing guitar was around the same time I discovered Blind Melon, and a kid in my junior high guitar class played this riff from No Rain, and I thought, that's really cool. I kind of forgot about that song. I had my mom take me to the music store in the mall, got the album, and quickly realized that their whole catalog was really interesting, and they quickly became one of my favorite bands to this day. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to kind of go somewhat chronologically through the songs that he wrote guitar parts for with the band. We're going to look at the types of chords that he played and kind of the similarities and techniques that he used in different songs. So without further ado, we're going to start with the song Change, and then we'll kind of just talk a little bit about each song afterward. Okay, so this is a really common 1-4-5 chord progression in A. We've got an A, a G, and a D. And essentially, we're looking at just the basic open position chords, and we're just moving one note around to make it like a sus2, sus4, just add a little movement. And this is a theme throughout pretty much everything he did. So with an A chord, we're that higher note on the B string, just moving that around. On the G, hammering on from open, and then the D chord, kind of the same thing, just hammer-ons and pull-offs on just around these notes. With the G, he's also kind of reaching up to the 5th fret here. Hitting open. That's basically it. Walk uses simple open position chords like Change, but we're blowing through the progression pretty quick. So we got A minor, C, G, and F. When he gets to that bridge, that's where he's adding in those extensions and playing around with that. So this song introduces some more colorful chord voicings and some riffs. So starting, we just have a E minor, C major 7. So normally you have a regular C chord. You're just omitting that first finger to get that major 7. And then C add 9. And then we've got that first riff here. It's pretty jangly and loose the way he plays it. It's not like exactly the same every time, but essentially he's doing a pull-off and then a walk down here and kind of hitting those other notes around it. The other riff there is we've got a, you can think of that as a C to a D. Then we're going down, just walking down a G essentially. As I flip you off. But it's like a G chord essentially. And then we go into an A, but we're omitting that top string. So it's like an A9, or add 9. And then we're playing the sus4, suspended fourth. And then he's adding this really dissonant sound here. Again, we're just kind of moving like one note around at a time, just one fret a lot of times to create some movement. Just a really kind of jangly strum pattern that he's got going too, but it's at the same time very controlled. So now we're kind of playing some triads further up the neck. This first chord you could think of as D major 7. So normal D, we're lowering that down to the major 7. And then on the high E string, he's just kind of moving it around again, like moving one note around to kind of create a melody. While strumming the other strings, hitting that open D. And then we're jumping into some bar chords. The way that Shannon would play bar chords is he'd kind of like add notes onto it. So really using that index finger as an anchor to kind of add and remove. And then again, adding like one little note here and there. With the pinky down here, same thing. This one seems to combine elements from St. Andrew's Fall and Mouthful of Cavities. So we've got those open position chords, moving those triads up. We've got like the same chord here as in St. Andrew's Fall, moving bar chords around again. And then the second section of this song reminds me a little bit of Mouthful of Cavities with the with sliding chords around. Really cool with the E minor here. He's kind of like hammering on and just the rhythm. And then the other thing I noticed when he's sliding up here, he's adding in these notes here. It's subtle, but it's just, again, that theme of just moving one note around just to kind of add some color, add some movement. We're sticking with open position chords here again. So we've got an E, a G, D, and a C. The challenge here is in how fast he's kind of moving between some of these. We're also implementing some of those hammer-ons again. So like the part, and then the again, it's just those hammer-ons and pull-offs. Same theme we've kind of been seeing so far. Real quick, I'll touch on the other song from Nico, Hell, where he's kind of doing a similar open position chords. He's also throwing some bar chords in too. And it's, again, very fast. We've got E, A, F sharp, B, A, what is it? A, G. So just very fast and just sticking with that strum pattern. Glitch to me really seems like the outlier of the bunch in a very cool way. It's very just kind of dark and broody sounding with that chord voicing going up to this. It's also in a different time signature. It sounds to me like we're playing in a 3/4 kind of a feel, and the whole song is just kind of built around that one riff and just builds upon itself. Really cool song. All right, so Flea Market Pete, from what I understand, was part of a bunch of demos that Shannon gave to the band one year for Christmas. And then years later, his mom, Nell Hoon, released it to the fans. There's some other demos in there that are early versions of songs we covered already. This is a really cool one. So kind of incorporates a lot of what we talked about. So we've got bar chords. Just a really fast, just cool strum pattern. And then when we get down here, we're sliding these bar chords up and down in a really cool way while strumming fast. To quickly sum things up, we talked about open position chords, chord extensions, triads on the higher strings, movable bar chords. A very Shannon Hoon thing would be to lift that index finger, let those notes ring out underneath, and then add it in, or just hammering on the low string. Admittedly, I didn't talk a lot about his strumming style, and I think that's really kind of the fingerprint of Shannon Hoon's guitar playing. So something to just listen to and practice along with to really get it under your fingers, get the timing down. And if you want to learn more about the band and Shannon Hoon, there's a lot of great resources online. 2 Meter Sessions is a really cool acoustic set that they did back in the day. I'd also be remiss not to mention that they are still a band. They still tour and play. They've got a singer now, Travis Warren, who does an excellent job, and they've released music with him as well. It's a different thing. You know, you can never really replace Shannon, but for what they're doing, it's still amazing music. I encourage you to check that out too. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to Robert Rask of Rask Guitars for letting me borrow this awesome acoustic guitar. It's a very beautiful guitar. He builds these guitars by hand. Check out his stuff. I'll link it in the description below. Lastly,
Let me know in the comments, what do you think of Shannon Hoon, Blind Melon? What's your favorite song? Any stories you want to share? I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching. Take care.